Hey, I've been away and I think you deserve to know why. Okay, so when we last left off, there was a man in the freezer at the supermarket, which I'm still laughing about every time I think about it. And then I said I was going to take a couple of weeks break, and 2 weeks went by, turned into 3, and during that time, on Mother's Day, the 12th of May, I was helping Mum to put new electric blankets on the beds, and we did hers first, because, you know, we find it a bit trickier because it's like lower and fits into the frame a bit tighter than mine. And oh my goodness, I'm very distracted. I'm looking at my Harry Potter calendar and I see that June the 4th, which is actually today, is Hold Your Cat Day. The 8th is Best Friends Day. 21st, Take Your Dog to Work Day. 22nd, I like this one, Onion Ring Day. And 26th is Chocolate Pudding Day. I don't know if those are actual days or if it's just like funny things that have been added by typo, but I thought that was really cool. Anyway, so while I was helping Mum to make the bed, I wasn't looking where I was going, and next thing you know, I'm like doubled over and crying because and I've done it before, but never this hard. I bashed my toe on the leg / foot of Mum's bed, and it instantly like turned black at the nail and was like 5 times the size as usual and didn't look quite right. So I slipped on it. You know, like I didn't go to the hospital straight away because, you know, I try to avoid the hospital if possible. I don't particularly enjoy it. And so the next day I went to like a local A&E and they did x-rays and nothing showed up, like no fractures showed up. So he was like, it's just a really bad sprain, really badly bruised, might be a tendon. So he said, use crutches for a week, we'll give you some, and if it's not better next Monday, come back. And my goodness, nobody ever told me how hard it was to use crutches, and I didn't realize like how much I appreciated the ability to walk until I used crutches. And I mean, like the first day we went somewhere afterwards because we hadn't had lunch, and the nearest park was like a kilometer away, but we were determined to go there anyway, so I crutched my way up the street and up the rim and had the best donut ever. The place where we went, the donuts sell out in like 5 to 10 minutes because they're so good. The one I had that day was a chocolate one, and I didn't realize it, but apparently I was doing it wrong. So when you're using crutches properly, and I mean, the nurse just said, you know, just walk normally and put the crutches ahead of you. So I thought that was how I was supposed to do it. But turns out when I went back the next Monday, because it was, you know, still really swollen and I couldn't bend it, the doctor goes, you're not actually supposed to put any weight on it. And so I had to have the crutches for another week, and oh my goodness, like I had bruises on my arms because this arm was being pushed into the back of like the arm slot, and this one was being pushed into the front. And of course, when you're doing it properly, you know, when you're not bearing any weight, which I'm incredibly jealous of anyone that can hop around really fast. And I mean, everyone I seem to look at on crutches is like hopping around like bunnies, like it's so easy for them. But being heavier, it is really difficult, because usually when you're walking and stuff, like, your weight is equally balanced, you know, half and half, so it's not so difficult. But 100% of your weight goes on that right hand side or that left hand side, depending on which foot or leg you've hurt. And so yeah, it was a really challenging 2 weeks for me, and I just did not have the energy to film. Since then, I have started doing some like physio for my fibromyalgia, and I also had a cold/flu. It wasn't COVID. My rat test was negative. Reminds me of my mum, when mum was working in a medical centre, and you know, rapid antigen test is shortened to rats, so she'd gotten this email saying fresh rats arriving by taxi. Anyway, my rat test was negative, and I didn't have a fever, so I figure it was just a really bad cold and not the flu. I might have had a fever at the start and I didn't test it, but yeah, that was not nice. So I had to have a virtual consult with the doctor, and then last week on Wednesday, I got cleared to go back to work, and back to work full time. So I was cleared from the 4th of June, which of course, like I said, is today. So I revamped my CV this morning, added my last role, which I didn't realize I hadn't, and then made 2 versions, and specified one for like administration based roles, and then another for like retail/click and collect, which is what I have done. But I can't seem to find anything like that that's not like in a supermarket. I fell into my first click and collect role, and then, you know, the second one was online shopper thing, and so yeah, I made 2 copies of my CV for different purposes, and then I remembered something from when I was working at the jewelry store that I hadn't put on there, so I did that. And I saved one job, but I haven't applied for it yet. It's you know, it's quite hard to get back into the swing of things, and I do have a plant with me coming that I filmed before my accident, and I'm in the process of editing it, and you'll probably hear the story about the toe again, because I started editing that before I started filming this, but now this one's going first. Anyway, that's my rambly little update, and I shall see you next time. Bye!